Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate this important hearing. Mr. Fugate, I would like you to, outline, do you believe that moving to upfront project-based grants will reduce the cost of rebuilding following a disaster?
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Can you go into specifics in terms of how we can, and kind of give me some real-world examples?
Okay, let's use a fire station. Everybody gets a fire station. You know what a fire station is? It's a building, right? It's also a function. So let's say you have a flood or a hurricane or a wildfire and the fire station gets destroyed. If you had insurance, what would be the first steps you would take? Contact the insurance, they send out an adjuster, they determine the building was destroyed, they look at the insured value, they write you a check. You go build a fire station. How hard is that? The current system is FEMA goes out there and first has to determine that the fire station was destroyed because of the disaster. Then they have to determine if there was any pre-disaster causes that would have increased the cost, like deferred maintenance and stuff. Then they have to determine, well, what's the value of the building and contents? And then what would it take to replace that? And they write an estimate on that, and that's a project worksheet. But because they do actual cost, they don't give them the money. The local governments now have to go get a contractor to go build a fire station. They have to get an estimate. They have to submit that to FEMA for being reviewed. Well, they want to change because the station was too small. They want to build it bigger. Well, FEMA says, we're only going to replace what was there. That's on you. We ain't going to approve that. But that's a change we have to approve on that. You can have as many as 10 versions on that worksheet getting to the final answer, and then you're reimbursing them. So what the locals have to do is they have to borrow the money, issue a bond to go build that fire station. They don't have the cash, and they generally don't have that much money sitting around. And this process will take the entire process of just getting to approval a year or more, and then up to 5 years of changes and everything else. It doesn't take 5 years to build a fire station. So by going to an estimate, here's how it would work. We get there, everybody agrees it's destroyed. Now, those of you that are concerned about fraud, waste, and abuse, here's what the thing requires. They have to get an engineer or architect of license in their state to put in their estimate of what that is. Because everybody's afraid, well, it won't be enough money or there'll be things they discovered later. I said, well, that's why you got them putting their seal on there, because they have insurance, and if they didn't get it right, that's where you get your money, not the taxpayer. We agree to it, 75% of them. We issue it. We put it in Smart Link, it goes down, state's got the money, they issue it to them. They now have the cash to go build a fire station. That's the difference.
We have a situation in my district, and maybe you can shed some light into this, where road gets washed out. It gets washed out every single time there's a flood. The community wants to build it to a higher standard, but because of the rules, you have to build it to what existed pre-disaster. Would it make sense to allow the community to fix it permanently and build it to?
Oh, absolutely. And I think one of the things is looking at cost-benefit analysis. I don't think we ought to be putting culverts back in anywhere. We ought to be doing box culverts. I've never seen a culvert that you put in after a flood that survives the next flood. I mean, it's just dumb stuff we do to try to keep it cheap. We ought to be going in there and not looking at what the road was before. We ought to be looking at the function of the road and going, how much does it cost every time that road gets washed out? And that should be the basis of the estimates. Just like we were building that fire station. I had fire stations and Hurricane Charlie got wiped out in that storm. To build them back to the building code was stupid because they got wiped out being built to the building code. I needed to build them for Cat 5. They said, well, it's not worth the cost-benefit analysis. I said, what about the function of the fire station? Oh, that changes the equation. Yeah. So I don't disagree, but guess what? This is getting people to think differently. A road is not a construction project. It's a function. What is the cost of losing that function? Wouldn't it make more sense to spend 10 to 15% more to ensure the function is there after the disaster instead of fixing it again?
That makes perfect sense to me. Mr. Matheson, I wanted to ask you, in your experience, which regulations or policies could FEMA eliminate to reduce delays for utilities, such as rebuilding poles, substations, and transmission infrastructure after disaster has occurred?
I think the legislation creates greater certainty in terms of time frame. The immediate, for the initial assistance, the 120-day limit, that would be a big help for us in terms of moving quickly with greater certainty when we're trying to repair storm damage. I mean, some of these repair projects like building a fire station, we've heard that takes time. We want the electric system up immediately if we can. And so the ability to move quickly, to make quick decisions, that's in all of our interest to have the lights on for people when they're dealing with all the other impacts of the disaster.
Thank you for that. I'm running out of time. Mr. Chair, I yield back, but thank you for the panel.